But you can host younger kids here. You know what I mean? You could definitely do like, I mean, little kids, like little 4th, 5th grade, stuff like that. So you'll probably do some smaller games there. Tub, cold tub, you know what I mean? Training table, full service, like fitness joint there. And then the very next room will be yoga studio. So like all of those elements and all of these things, you know what I mean, right here under one roof. Register, say if you wanted to come and have a workout and you wanted to like use one of our courts, you would have the ability as a trainer where you could come and rent a court and you and your clients could have access.
Okay, to everything.
Yes.
Well, for me personally, you know, right now we're in the process of like really building his brand Mod's way. You know, I think it'll be something very special. So
what are you selling? What is it? Clothes?
So right now, just like brand recognition with the hoodies, T-shirts, and things of that nature. No, not yet, not yet. I'll get some things to you. So anybody who knows me can get to me. Yeah, we got the logo. We got a T-shirt for you.
Man, I'll wear something for you. I'm a little old, but people do see me when I come in, man. They do notice.
and just really, you know, we really want all of Philly to get behind UConn basketball. I mean, that's our next journey. That's our next stop. You know, we don't want it to stop here. We appreciate all the love and support that we've gotten from our city. And we just really want them to continue to, you know, follow us on our journey and really be a part of what we're doing. Because like everybody know, for me, it's all love. I'm about the young kids. I'm about, you know, advancement, you know, for all of our people. So we know this is for not just us, this is for our people as well. So we would love for Philly to, you know, continue to follow us on our journey and be there, you know, their entire way.
So how y'all doing, first of all? How you doing, Sheed?
I'm doing wonderful, man. Between wonderful and outstanding, man. Anything in between that is how I'm doing.
Ahmad, how you making out?
I'm doing great, man. Blessed to be in the position I am right now.
Relax a little bit. Ain't nothing else to win, man. So you can just chill a little bit, right? So Ahmad, first question. I want you to discuss the evolution of your relationship with Tasheed. Like, what made you decide to trust him to guide you through this basketball experience of yours?
I started in 6th grade, just me having a love for basketball. We was at Haddington Playground, and I worked out, but like I never like was working out a consistent thing, like everything. I walked in the Haddies, Tasheed was training other kids. I joined this workout one day, and like time flew. Like you remember the first moment, but I can't tell you everything that happened in between, but it's just countless days and hours and nights and mornings, just
felt right.
Day after day. Yeah, it felt right.
I'm getting better.
Yeah, for sure.
This is working. I'm busting their ass.
Yeah, but it just was comfortability. Just like comfortability, like seeing my mom trust him was all I needed, because that's all I had. So just seeing that my mom put trust in another man, then that's what I needed to be able to. And our relationship, I mean, it was 6 years ago. It was just, we just connected well.
All right. The great Philly guards, you're talking about Guy Rogers. He's a Hall of Famer. Temple, 2 Final Fours while he was at Temple. Walt has won a national championship at UCLA. Andre McCarter won a national championship at UCLA. Pooh Richardson, South Philly, Ben Franklin, UCLA. I count Jameer. Some people don't, but I do. You know, I'm from Darby Township, he's from Chester. Kyle Lowry, Colin Gillespie, Ahmad Nowell. That name belongs in there. Now, I've talked to some people, and they're all like, well, you're doing it too soon. We don't know. I know. I've seen enough. Tasheed, I'm going to ask you, how do you feel? Do you think I'm reaching? Is it fair to put his name at the end of that sentence?
No, I don't think you're reaching at all. I think, you know, you being a historian, you know, watching some of these guys, I mean, these are guys that I've heard about that I got respect for from afar. A few of those I know. So, you know, for me, it's just the ultimate respect for all tough Philly guards. But, you know, in my tenure, I tell people he's the best guard, you know, for my last 25 years of like being around the game, remembering, and not just from a point standpoint, but from everything the young kid can do in the court. and ended with and beginning with being the best leader I've seen in high school basketball up until this point with my own eyes. And then quite honestly, we put more work in than anybody and everybody. So I don't think it's much of a reach at all. I think that he has some greatness in store. And no matter how well we talk about him in front of his face, he's always going to remain humble and like really put the work first. So just knowing how we work, knowing the things we work on, knowing how focused he is, how humble, how much, how good of a kid he is, I think that he's right in line with being, one of the best ever to come from our city.
Career. How do you view your career?
I view my career of it being great, just like coming in since a freshman, not being in Philadelphia, but just winning, just forever winning, forever being productive, being a leader, just making players better ever since before I was even aware I was making them better. So just being a dog, being a defender, and just being who I am no matter where I was at, like no matter where we played at, Baltimore, when I was in Tennessee my freshman year.
That's your paramount criteria, winning the game, winning championships, winning leagues, winning states, winning districts. That's, for you, that's a major or the most important factor when you make those determinations?
Yes, for sure, especially being a point guard, because point guards win games. So if I feel like I'm out there producing and out there making my teammates better, then I can't think of another player position on the floor that's more important.
Now, I was going to go through the winning that you've done, but I've heard him do it so much, I'm going to let my man do it because he runs it all. He doesn't stutter, he doesn't stumble. Let the people understand what we're talking about when we're talking about winning basketball. Since he began in 9th grade, what has he accomplished?
Well, I think when you talk about winning basketball, it first starts with the work. It starts with the attitude, really putting the work in. Because, all young kids, including myself when I was young and playing, everybody like to think themselves as winners, but winner is like internal. So it's like putting that work in, being focused, and really giving all it takes to, win on the court and not leaving nothing when you leave that court. And with that being said, I never seen a young kid that won more. Right now he has, won 11 championships in high school, 4 state championships, 1 in Tennessee, 3 public leagues, 3 city titles, probably the most prestigious high school tournament, City of Palms. And he's been, one of those guys who's been one of the best players on all those teams. And I think even some teams he's been the best player when he wasn't even acknowledged for it. But just kind of being selfless at times and, doing whatever it takes. So, there's teams where he could have scored 25, 30, but he took the 3rd seat, for them to win, just to play defense, just to, make sure he's getting the most assists, guarding the best player. So I just think it's an attitude that started a long time ago, even before I met him playing on the playgrounds, him competing, for every basketball. And then when I stepped in, just helping him understand from day one, like in order to be great, particularly at your size, because I didn't know how tall he was going to get. Maybe got an inch or so left in him, but at 6'1.5", you got to be great on defense and offense. And you got to really be a leader. So just kind of helping, teaching him, really what it takes to not only be a winner, but be great while you're winning, not just being a part of it.
4 state championships, 3 straight at Imhotep.
3 straight triple crowns.
Have you lost a public league game ever?
1.
Who got you?
Lincoln.
Oh.
Shout out to Mel and them guys, man. That was a good one. Mel
You lost
and them guys.
1 game in 3 years?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm right. Last 3 years, I got 9 losses on my career. Oh yeah, public league 1 loss.
I think Will Chamberlain did not. Yeah, he lost 1. He lost to Claude. You and Will, y'all lost 1.
Pretty tough.
That's pretty tough. That's what I'm trying to say. And Ahmad, I would rank you among the top 1, 2, 3% of kids I've encountered in that way. Because we all pay attention. We all see it. People don't say it. But I talk to Tasheed all the time. And we talk about, the way a kid carries himself on the court, the way he interacts with referees, the way he interacts with his teammates, after the game, the way they interact with the little kids and stuff like that. I've had a few kids that were just really, really stellar in that regard. Langston Galloway, I would put way up the top, and I would put you right up there with him, the way you carry it. Tasheed, How much time and energy have you invested in helping Ahmad develop and shape his character off the court? And are there some things you could offer to some of the people who are working with other really talented young guys who exhibit questionable characteristics off the court sometimes?
So yeah, well, first and foremost, I would like to just give a big shout out to his mom, because way before I met him, like he was on his way to being a great young man. You know what I'm saying? I met him as a respectful young man. You know what I mean? Really, you know, a little shy when I first met him, but was very respectful. Was always a good kid. I always seen it from the beginning. And then, you know, me cultivating that, just, you know, just teaching him how to be more of a man. You know, speaking, you know, with his chest out, you know, head up. You know what I mean? You know, helping him understand that, you know, smiling is, you know, a opening door for everybody. So smile more. Just kind of like, you know, just always introducing yourself and just teach them how, you know, important the relationships are that, you know, that you make along the way. You know, how people remember you from the first time is probably how they remember you forever. So things of that nature. But I think the most important thing is like leading by example. So he's been riding with me 6 years straight, and I've been nothing but an, you know, exemplary man. You know what I'm saying? Honorable man, taking care of my kids, taking care of so many young kids in the area. You know, not being flawed, not doing questionable stuff, and really, you know, me having character, me being a man, and me like really showing him by example. So I think for anybody that's dealing with the young kids, that's trying to help these young kids be better in that regard, I think that it starts with that. And then it starts with being stern with them, like not just taking anything from young kids, you know, really being the anchor, really being the mentor, really being the man or the woman in the situation, and understand that, you know, sometimes kids are going to be kids. So, you know, every once in a while they have to be grabbed by that collar.
That's important. So you're willing to say no sometimes?
No, absolutely.
How important is it for others who are working with young people, you know, because there's a tendency, and we all know it, there's some guys out here that just would never say no to a kid because they would have this fear that the kid would go somewhere else or be with someone else or play with someone else. But I think it's important to maintain that man, young man distinction. Child when you first met him, but now man, young man distinction, and to be willing to say no. How important is that?
I mean, very important. I mean, you know, but I think it's just, you know, it's a job that everybody can't do, because it's like my experience, you know, experience is the best teacher. So just understanding that, you know, one, understanding the psychology of children, but two, just kind of my experiences, knowing that, you know, I've made some quick decisions. I've been on my own making decisions, and quite frankly, none of this shit worked out. So it's like, yo, you know, I've been through it. So like, I already took the test. So I'm, you know, just trying to give them all the right answers, and just, you know, give them a cheat code to how it is, and just really, me too, help them understand how important it is to be great off the court. Like, you know, we work a lot on the court, but just as much as we work on the court, I talk to him about, you know, how important it is to be a great young man off the court, and how many opportunities that could bring you, and just like building those kind of relationships. So it's very important, like, to not let kids just dictate everything. I mean, yes, we do want to give our young kids, our young men, our young women a say. But at the end of the day, you know, most young children can't see past tomorrow. So it's up to us as an adult to give them that blueprint, that outline, and, you know, make them follow it if they want to be great. I mean, every kid won't get it, but when it's meant to be, it will be.
How important is it to you to carry yourself in a manner that will inspire the guys coming after you, the little kid? You're a star now. I know this palms you in the gym is probably, at first you was like, yo, these little kids really running over, they looking up, they plead. How important is that to you? Do you consider yourself a role model right now? Next year it's gonna be off the chain. Those kids in Storrs, Connecticut, and all the Big East gyms you're gonna go into.
First, yes, it is very important for me to be a leader and for me to be a role model. Like, and I feel like I've always been one all my life, just being a leader, from like the decisions I had to make, the times I had to say no to my friends, and where I could have made like bad mistakes in my life. So just being able to just recognize that even when I was younger.
What block you grew up in?
I'm from Overbrook, so
What
like
block?
75th and Brockton Road. Yeah, so just even when I was younger, just like being able to say no, just being able to be the odd kid out. And
That
yeah.
takes strength.
For sure.
That takes a lot of strength to be like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm gonna go work out. I'm gonna put some shots up.
Yeah.
I'm good. Man. So let's talk about the Imhotep experience. You know, Imhotep is a perennial national power in basketball. Brother Ahmad Nowell and his staff have produced, at this point, it's countless numbers of scholarship level athletes, Division I, Division II. Let's talk about your career, Ahmad, at Imhotep. The evolution from when you first came, you had an important role, but it was a role, and by the time you left this year, it was unquestionably the fact that you were the leader of a bunch of young kids. So talk about your journey at Imhotep. How was your experience?
It was amazing, just like going in there and not knowing too many people, because just coming from Tennessee, not knowing too many people. Just having my relationship with the other teammates that I had, it was amazing. It made it feel like home. Brother Andre, Coach Kev, Coach Tahar, all them guys, Coach Dan, they made it feel like at home, and just getting on the court is what I love to do. So just going out there to compete against those other good players, that's really where it all started. And then it grew from there with bro trusting in me and trusting in my work and seeing all the hard work I put in and how I produced on the floor. My role got more and more important. Like with bro seeing that I was a dog from after my 10th grade, even from in 10th grade, just always guarding the best player. Mm-hmm. Him letting me know what he needed me to do and just trusting that I was going to be able to get it done. So just even from 10th grade, him putting so like pressure but no pressure, because we worked for it, so it's no pressure. But even from 10th grade, him giving me a task and something to do, and just me being able to follow up. So just all those years, finally getting to my senior year, and just being able to put all those things together and just be like an example for my younger kids, not with just my words and my experience, but with actions. So
you didn't even have to yell. Like the level of respect, and they just got in line, right? You guys, do this, do that. It wasn't a struggle, right?
Yeah, for sure. They made it easy for me. Got a lot of young, great talent on that team that's going to produce well. So they made it easy for me. They trusted in what I've done and what I've did and like how I shown in practice. But yeah, it was a lot of work that was put into that run we had. They
ready to carry it forward next year without you?
For sure.
You was ready after Justin and Romare left. So yeah. you betting on them again. It's another public league championship, another state championship coming next year?
For sure, for sure.
We gonna see. I like that. Tasheed, why Imhotep? You know, you literally could have gone anywhere in America. You could have did the IMG thing, Montverde, Honey and Prep. I mean, locally you could have went Westtown, Roman, Newman, cats even jumping over the bridge and going to Camden these days. He went to Tennessee, Camden going to Tennessee and bringing them back up here. Why Imhotep?
Well, really mainly, man, because they was all brothers. You know what I mean? So that was very important to me, for him to, to have my son in an environment with brothers. People that's going to care about them, not just basketball, but off the court, love the environment of the school, the culture of the school. It was always a great thing to me from the outside looking in. To be honest, I didn't know. I knew Stan a little. I knew bro in passing, but I really didn't know them guys from a real personal standpoint until I started to get there. And I just thought it was going to be a great opportunity for him on the court. I knew Justin was trending up. I knew they was the only. To me, they was the only culture that already fit our work ethic and what we was doing. So I thought, he wasn't going to take a step back there, which was very important for his development. And I just knew, like I said, I knew with Romare and Justin there and the team they had, when he stepped in there, he was going to have an opportunity to continue to play nationally and things of that nature. So, but I think it started with just like the men that they are up there, how I've always heard about them, caring for their kids, and they didn't come short of that. They held every expectation that I had as far as really looking out for him and being there for him off the court. And a lot of people talk about the academics and things of that nature, but he's a very smart kid. I knew he was going to get it wherever he went. So I knew that he needed to be, feel comfortable around people that's going to, exhibit love and caring for him. and be in a tight knit environment. So I think that was the main thing while choosing Imhotep.
It really worked out well for him now. When I see it, I couldn't imagine being somebody I went to school with or somebody I knew from another school. Do you find yourself going to school just trying to help the younger people deal with this?
Yes, for sure. Just like always, like I said, being like a leader and showing them by example, just telling them, like, nah, you shouldn't go to that park, or feel me, you shouldn't hang with those people. Always just using everything I learned from Tasheed and just spreading it out to everybody else. Like, no matter what it is, just even if it was like there's a lot of things like I don't condone, like situations that happen, like we're bullying, people talking about certain stuff. It's just like a lot of things, like I'm fine with being an odd man out and being in those uncomfortable situations where you might gotta say some things that people don't like or wouldn't hear. So yeah, it's very important, and I feel like I do look to do that like often. If I see somebody just like energy off, just like try to speak to them, just try to just see where they head at.
Are
just
they
encourage.
listening when you talk to 7th graders, 8th graders, 9th graders? They paying attention?
Yeah, for sure. I think so for sure. Just like a lot of things, like I would just like want to decrease that's going around in the city, like the music we listen to, and just like the things like that we wear and we promote and we think is cool. I think we just gotta like make it uncool, because all it is a bunch of people liking one thing, so it's not hard to change that motive.
Tough. Well, I can't say guys my age, but guys his age is on the internet beefing, saying stupid, acting goofy, when I see you, this, that, and this. You know, so to hear that from an 18-year-old, man, I'm really proud. I'm proud to hear you say that. Mm-hmm. Tasheed, now you and your colleagues at Born Leader Family have been working with youth for a long time now. And I know that your home base was Southwest Philly, where, you know, and we've shared some kids, you know, Mike, Samir, you know, some kids, and I know the situations around them. How have you been able to help kids who had to deal with some of these tragic events that keep happening? Is there anything you could offer to other people who maybe live on blocks or maybe are working with young people, and you know the kid comes home and they shot up the bus stop or something like that? How do you help a kid get through that?
Oh man, well, it never gets easy. Unfortunately, I've dealt with, so many murders, kids getting murdered, and unfortunately kids murdering, some of my kids murdering some kids too. It never gets easy. It's very tough. I just try to really speak to the kids about energy, trying to keep the right energy around you, your surroundings. It's hard to tell anybody how to cope with, death. Everybody handle it different. But for me, it's all about the energy you keep around, the energy you maintain, and just kind of, the people that you're around, the places that you're going to, and just try to really talk to the kids about that, that from that perspective. But it's so hard because, some of our negative forces from where we're from is so much stronger than our positive forces. So, all kids won't make it, and I understand that.
Do you think we got to catch them younger?
Yes. So I think that's really been a mission of mine.
What's the ideal age? 4th, 5th, 6th grade?
Yeah.
8th, 9th is a little
too late. I think once those kids get 8, 9, 8, 9, 10, I think it's time to start gripping them up, really talking to them, just kind of like you said, like their environments. You got to put them in better environments. The rap music is just horrible by design probably. So helping them understand those kind of things early, those kind of vibrations in those musics. And just following trends that's not worth it, because I tell you one thing, the common thing is I've talked to so many kids that's got in trouble on the streets, and they're doing 30 years and all this time in jail, and every time I talk to any of them, they just like wish that they would have never went down that road. So I've heard a saying that the wise people learn from other mistakes, not from your own. So I just try to encourage the kids to just to kind of learn from others' mistakes and just not have to go through. You don't have to touch the fire to know that it's hot.
So when we talk about energy and people and places and things like that, we're sitting right now I'd say, what'd you say, about 70% done, PYB facility. They got 1,000 square feet of safe, secure space. It's kind of secluded back off the main road. And I know you have your facility, you're undergoing renovations as well right now. How important are programs like, I think you worked with PYB for one summer or something?
Yes.
How important are things like that where you can grab kids off and put them in safe, secure facilities at that young age? You were 6th grade, 7th grade? What?
Yeah.
Is that the right time to try to get them in a summer basketball camp or league or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think all these kind of programs are important. I think we need more people like myself that's doing them and that's really anchoring and helping out guys like PYB, who's, bringing us the platform, bringing us a lot of the structure. Great thing, great thing what Kenny and Eric is doing. But I think it's essential, to have guys like myself, really anchoring these
guys.
Yeah, play ball that been through it, boots on the ground, that really can, help these young kids from a different capacity. And I think that, when we work hand in hand, I think that we can just get more kids. I mean, with this facility, just looking at how beautiful it is, how much space it is, we should, definitely be able to come together and make a substantial change in some of these things within our city, with the help of, through people that's really trying to make moves, through the council people, through, the people that's trying to really build programs. I think that this will be a staple for years to come.
Marty, you always seem to be in the gym if you ain't in school, period. Before school, after school, you in the gym. How do you think, if you had access to what you and Sheed have had access to the last couple of years, when you were in 4th, 5th, 6th grade, my suspicion is you'd have probably snuck an air mattress in one of these joints and just try to post up overnight. What do you think? You think these kinds of facilities is what is needed to attract the kids and keep them off the internet and away from that music that I agree with you about the music. The messaging is just horrible. How important are institutions like this and what Sheed has going over on Tioga? What is it? What's your address?
Yeah, 19th and Tioga. So actually going forward, we done away with the renovations. We won't be there going forward.
Okay.
So it's just an ideal time, to partner with guys like PYB and
find a new home.
Find a new home and really do some substantial things. But go ahead.
All right. So how important is something like that if you were that young again?
It's very important. Just like even like a couple years ago when I was in 9th, 10th grade, when the gym was first getting done, and I was just able to just be in there all day. Like when you're doing something you love, time flies. So just being in the gym all day, by the time you get in the house, all you're done working out, you're done socializing with your friends that's in the gym with you, you're tired, so you're going to sleep, and it kind of keeps you away from the social media and the bad music and the free time that has you lingering and being in places you're not supposed to. So these places and these institutes that we're building and that's being built, it's an amazing opportunity for our youth.
Winding down here, let's talk a little bit. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but we got to talk a little Grassroots AAU. Ahmad, give me some of the best and the worst things about your Grassroots AAU experience. If you was in a hotel and they had roaches, tell me. If you was out of town and you was hungry, tell me. You ain't got to tell all people, but what's the best part of the Grassroots experience and what's some of the negative parts of it?
The best part from my experience from AAU was probably just like all the connections I made, all the relationships I built with just the players that from all across like the world, just from the players, the camps and stuff like that, just all the players I met, all the coaches and things of that nature that did well by me, like just the connections. I feel like that's the important part of life, just connecting and networking and stuff like that. One of the worst, I would probably be at 8 a.m. games. Those never do me good. 8 a.m. games, and the back-to-back playing, like those games that be back-to-back. Yeah, like I remember. Yeah, 8th grade made hoops, man. We were supposed to win, but we beat Team Durant. We had to go back and play takeover. So it's like crazy. Yeah.
Well,
that's
I'm going to throw this out to both of y'all. He said his connections was really the best part of his AAU experience. If you pay attention, a lot of the older guys, your age, definitely my age, they rail against that. They say these guys are too close. They're too friendly. They don't compete with one another. And it shows up in things like the All-Star game. Like, these guys are in love with each other. They hugging, kissing before the game. People want it to be more intense. Do you think AAU has taken away some of the bitterness and the competition that would otherwise exist?
Well, particularly with Ahmad, no, because the message I give him is always the right one when it comes to that. So he's just a competitive kid. So he want to win. It's always like F the next kid on the court. But I do tell him that there's always a balance between off the court, on the court. And to be honest, man, it's a new generation. I'm one of those guys who really don't compare what we did to what they do, because it's so hard. We didn't have social media. We didn't. So it was like some of the things that they're doing was impossible for us to even do. So it's so hard to say that it's messing things up, man. But I just think that as the guidance, as a mentor of a kid, a trainer, we got to continue to send them the right messages. Like, in between those lines, it's all about competition. It's all about that. So
he ain't had no problem smacking Thomas in the face a couple times. That's his homie. That's his teammate. That's good stuff. Tasheed, I know you spend a lot of time, and you're a staunch proponent. You've even said it here about work. And by work, I know what you mean. You mean individual grind and skill development. That Kobe Bryant, let's go 3 in the morning stuff. How did you balance that skill development work versus all the demands of, high level? When you played really high level grassroots AAU basketball, how do you balance that?
Well, I mean, for me, the work come first. So, I just understand, it's just something that should come. All the greats have done it. I try to give him a lot of what I didn't have or what I didn't do that I know I messed up at. And staying in that gym was one of them. Even during some of the AAU tournaments, we put a little work in here and there, just depending on how things are going. So for me, I just understand that the AAU is just a thing. It's just fun. It's something to do. It's pretty much a prerequisite, for the young kids.
Visibility.
Yeah, a little visibility. I mean, it's a great thing. I wouldn't diminish it in no kind of way. I think some things need to change about it. But I think, being with Team Final these last few years has been like a great experience. So for me, I just understand that it don't really mean shit. At the end of the day, it's all about that. It don't really mean much in the development. It's all about putting that work in, putting the right work in with the right people. And, I always tell him, we never really work for high school. We're working for the next level. And now that we get to the next level, he understands that we're working for the next level. So, the work for high school was done a long time ago. The work for college is getting done now. The work for the next level will get done soon. So I kind of keep that in perspective for him.
Why UConn, Ahmad? Why UConn? Other than they the national champs. That's a given.
Everything. I mean, just like you start from the top. You start from the top, which is just a program. The program's a winning program, develop a lot of pros. And then you go after that. It's where they at right now. It's the coaching. Just Coach Hurley, just like his will, like his putting everything out there to want to win is just like kind of the same mentality as me. So just like him being willing to do anything to get the win, like sacrifice his time, his sleep, and things of that nature to be able to prepare his players to get it done. That's where my mindset is. So just us being on the same mindset is really like what led me that way, as well as just
Did he have to grow on you, or you liked him right away?
Just right away. Winners win. So winners, we're similar. So it's just it was just an instant connection.
You ever see any old video of him at Seton Hall?
Nah, I never seen that.
He was a nasty little and Bobby was the nastiest little. They was some nasty little white boys, man. But they was winners. I mean, that's what they did. What set UConn apart from the other programs? I know it was Ahmad's choice ultimately, but knowing you, I also know that you helped him structure things so he can make a fair comparison among the many schools that was recruiting him. What was it about UConn?
I think it's first like the authenticity with Danny and Kamani. I just thought it was just like real from day one. And you know, I pride myself on being a real guy, real man at all times. And I think that's, you know, exactly what he's seen in them as well from the very beginning. I just thought the conversations was great. We talked about, you know, me kind of going through some of it similar to the same stuff and understanding the process. It was just really about the real stuff. Like we didn't talk about, you know, I didn't ask the crazy question I think that, you know, parents ask, is he going to start? No coach can tell you if he's going to start right away. They don't know if he's going to start. I told them that he was going to come in and be a starting point guard based on the work he was going to put in and being ready. You know, in the NIL era, we didn't talk about money until like 50 conversations in, because I feel like if you handle your business, then you're going to get everything that's coming to you. And I just seen like I know the history of them guys. I know the history of his father. I know the chip he had on his shoulder. I mean, we had some real in-depth conversations, like nothing to do with basketball. So like, you know, we talked about character many times in this, you know, his character, his will to win, and just our similarities. You know, he's like an extension of me. So, you know, who I am on a training field is like who he is, you know, who he is on the court in preparation, you know, preparing those guys for the ultimate thing. You know, I mean, he's been through it. And, you know, a lot of his failures, which is like the same, a lot of my failures helped me get to this point, and he really embodies that. And then, you know, I got to really salute Kamani because, you know, he was the real anchor for, you know, him coming in, you know, just being a real guy, man. We always had real conversations, and it just was the most authentic thing. I've been around many coaches. No one compares to Danny Hurley, not even close. And I can honestly say that.
You looking forward to the Big East, man?
Yes.
I went to the tournament. I went Wednesday and Thursday. It's different. It's different, and you will be at the program. The flat, well, some might get you know, local people might take offense to that, but I think right now UConn is unquestionably the prominent, preeminent program in the Big East.
In the country right now. Make no mistakes about it. I mean, national champions, you know, probably they're set to probably win it again. Danny Hurley probably is the best coach in the country.
If he wins it again, no question.
Yeah, you know, and
Houston's on his ass.
He is, but them guys ain't got nothing on him. I mean, whether he win, lose, or draw this year, you know, he's trending to be like the best program in the country this next few years.
You agree?
Yeah, of course.
It means that. Ahmad, anything you want to add to say to anybody, homies, girl?
No. Shout out to my mom.
There you go.
Shout out to Tasheed. Shout out to everybody that's been a part of this journey and that really, like, just really was there for me. Like, really was there for me. Was really, like, picked me up. Shout out to all the people that trained me before Tasheed that really was there. Not everybody, but shout out to the ones that know who they are. But, yeah, let's go Huskies.
And they said it was going to be a down year for Imhotep, but the TEP is obviously still up. That's all I want to end off with saying.
Have you ever lost against the Catholic League?
No, I think he 11-0 against those guys on that side.
No.
4-0 this year.
Is it 10, 11-0?
Yeah, about 11-0 in 3 years.
When you get his age, my age, and y'all, they ain't gonna like you.
Yeah, they say the pub not that good, but we got the best team, man. It's crazy.